No, I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gon' eat everything up off they plate? Who the next one that's really gon' step up and be great? Yeah, the FANATTIC, the fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah. Don't forget to smash that like button. Comment, subscribe, all that. The fanatic. Yeah.
Welcome in, college football fans. It's another episode of Saturday Night Snap Count on the FANATTIC Sports Network, man. If you are new to the channel, man, hey, listen, we talk college football every Saturday night at 10:30. College football reactions and watch party, if you want to say that, because currently we got the Dogs still taking on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Florida State and Florida still going on, and Clemson, South Carolina still going on, man. But you know how it is. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. Let's get this party started, man. My guy from Hall of Fame College Football is Jason. What's going on, Jason?
What's up, Coach R? Thanks for having me on.
Man.
Almost forgot my mic.
I know, right? I know, man. Listen, man. Hey, man. Happy holidays, man. You fill your belly with a lot of Thanksgiving food.
Yes, sir. It was good. Got to eat quite a bit and watch a lot of football, man. So
hey, man. Oh, touchdown. Hey, there we go. Georgia just scored 37-16, waiting on the extra point. So yeah, man, it's been a good holidays, man. Like you say, a lot of good food, a lot of good football. I actually told Stat Guy, man, I like the way they spread out. I know it's a lot of times there's Friday games after Thanksgiving, but I thought it was more this Friday, and it's like it made it so you can see all the games almost. So I definitely like that. My guy Mike Wilkerson in the building. What's going on? Yeah. So Hank in the building, man. That's what I'm talking about, baby. My guy Mars
Florida
in there.
Just got held off. Florida State wins 11-0.
11-0. I like it. Steve B, what's going on, my guy? All right, man.
That makes them 12-0. Sorry, that makes them
12-0. Yeah, they undefeated. Going to take on a Louisville team who Louisville took an L to Kentucky today, Jason.
Saw that, man.
But they started out, they were owning Kentucky initially. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know what happened.
Might have gotten Stoops the job at Texas A&M too.
Bruh, so okay, this is what I told Stat Guy this morning. After Ohio State lost, I said Texas A&M just got their coach. It's Ryan Day. You muted. You hit the mute button. Jason, you hit the mute button. We can't hear you, dog.
That's what Chris was saying too. He said that he thinks it's going to be Ryan Day. I don't know, man. I think that they're saying that I'm hearing that Mike Norvell is on Ohio State's radar big.
Mike Norvell, FSU?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow. What about old buddy from Duke, Elko?
See, here's where my thoughts is on this deal with A&M. There's 3 guys that you really ought to be looking at, and it should be Willie Fritz, it should be Jeff Traylor, it should be Mike Elko.
Willie Fritz should be up for
great choices for them, because they're going to really, particularly with Jeff Traylor, I've said this before, is that he's going to focus on Texas high school football recruiting more than Jimbo. The High School Coaches Association hated Jimbo, and they don't really like Sark that much, right? He will focus in a way that they haven't done that. That would be big, but that's the reason, because those guys are the right choice, is why they won't get the job. So I wouldn't be that surprised if you saw Ryan Day end up with that gig. And I've even been hearing Dabo a lot lately. There's more stuff linking Dabo to the job. It seems the absolute opposite of what he would want, because they love the portal and they love the freaking they love the portal and they love to cough money up in NIL. But I don't know.
Hey man, it's gonna be interesting to see. Jonathan Lewis, what's going on, Jonathan? Hey, listen, man, they called that touchdown back earlier for the Dogs, and then Carson Beck just threw an interception in the end zone. So it's 31-15 still. Georgia Tech gets the ball on the 20th. Gen Z 214 say I see stuff on Twitter about Mark Stoops taking the job. I don't know if it's legit. That's what Jason was saying. Hey, appreciate you getting in, my man. How about they didn't even let the the feelings die from the Oregon State game. They wasn't even like, I don't even know if it was 18 hours. They announced it, the guys going to Michigan State, man. John Smith, man, that's big right there.
I think it is too. I think that he's one of those coaches that people don't give enough credit to. I mean, because if you think about what Oregon State was when he got there and what it is now, you know.
But that's his alma mater too, dog. That's tough right there, dog.
Yeah, but I mean, look, he'd also, that's a job that just paid a huge amount of money to mail.
True.
So I mean, that's a life-changing money and a possibility to play at the highest level, which right now Oregon State doesn't have that.
Big facts. And shout out to my guy Priest Perry for getting in. Hey, listen, not for nothing, it might be the best time to get in at Michigan State, because now next year you don't have any divisions. So you're not guaranteed to have to play. I mean, you might have to play Michigan, Ohio State, but it's not guaranteed like it was previously, man. Let's go ahead and jump
back weeks and stuff like that, how they would, where they get Michigan next week. After that, they got Penn State, Ohio State, whatever. Yeah.
Big facts, man. The Thanksgiving Day game, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, the Egg Bowl, man. Listen, Mississippi State played pretty tough, man. They slowed that offense down. Ole Miss is normally good at home, but Ole Miss pulled it out, man. It was a good game on for Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, man, Egg Bowl, that's got some implications too there. Mississippi State, apparently Jeff Levy's going to be, the word is that he's taking that job. So he's supposedly building apparently he's building and the more you hear about it, the more that it sounds plausible. I think that when it comes to their athletic director was the assistant athletic director at Oklahoma before he got there. He's part of the reason that BV and Jeff Levy were both there. They're tight. It seems like it. I don't think it's a great idea for Jeff to do it, but I do think that it's plausible.
Okay. Stephen G getting in the building. What's going on, Stephen G? But Ole Miss, listen, man, two times in the last 3 seasons, Lane goes 10-2. He's just got to be able to get over that Alabama hump, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, unfortunately, he had to play Bama and Georgia this year. I know he has to play us next year at home, but I don't know about Bama. So those are the things. God, make a tackle.
Well, he gets Oklahoma next year too. He gets Oklahoma next year too. So,
so but hey, man,
the big game, it'll be the first time. So,
listen, hey, he got that Egg Bowl win. So shout out to them, man.
I like Lane.
Black Friday was filled with good football, man. You guys started out in an absolute fireworks show. Like, y'all was clearly up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna turn the game. I'm going to do something else, and then I see the final score. I didn't watch the second half because you guys were pretty much doing what you wanted to in the first half, so I didn't get to see the second half. And then I see that both of y'all combined for over 100 points. What happened to the defense?
Yeah, I think that they were in. I mean, part of it is not complimentary. I mean, I'm not blaming the offense because they did what they needed to do, but I'm saying, like, there was 9 possessions in the first half, I think it was, for them, obviously for TCU as well. Look, I think that there was definitely some times in the second half of the season that you saw Oklahoma's defense kind of falter a little bit. I think that you're still working out the kinks of what it used to be as to what it is. I think the linebacker play has suffered, particularly when you don't see when Danny Stutzman's not in the game, the linebackers don't seem to know where they need to be.
He's the one that makes the calls and gets everybody in the right
he
spot.
gets everybody in the right spot. And when he's not in there, him or Kip Lewis, they're the two that seem to understand what to do. The other ones don't. And you want to see better out of them. I think a lot of it too is that, along that defensive line, you haven't gotten the push that you got early on in the year. I don't know why that is. Except for maybe depth, maybe a depth thing. And it's as you got further into the season, it just wasn't as good. But I do think that you're starting to see some things in that secondary. I mean, look, if Billy Bowman comes back, I mean, that dude led the country in interceptions and pick sixes. He had another pick six this week. He had a 100-yard pick six last week.
He's a junior, right?
Yeah, he can come back. He can come back, and then his grade, right now his NFL grade isn't good enough for him to leave. I think
that's what I was going to say. Like, it depends on what that NFL grade is.
I think it could bump up though after what we've seen. That being said, I do believe that Danny's probably going to be back. I think he got snubbed on a lot of the awards. His grade hasn't been good. I don't think that another year with Schmitty and another year with BV won't help him. I think it'll help him for sure. Whether or not he stays or not, I mean, he may or may not, but I think he does. I feel like he does. I also think that when you've got some of the guys coming in that you do, plus you've got some of these guys that were freshmen this year kind of stepping into bigger roles as sophomores next year, they're going to be better. I've told you a bunch of times I still see 25 as the year that you really see them contending. I think if they go 9-3, 10-2 their first year in the SEC, that's a good freaking first year.
Yeah. So, hey, man, talking about this year, y'all went 10-2. My ceiling for y'all was 10-2, just not knowing anything coming into the season. 8-4 was the floor. You guys actually, again, I thought, you guys played a good season. You dropped the close one to Kansas, and then the Oklahoma State game, was a letdown, but hey, still a good season, and you can finish it strong on the bowl. The bowl season, you can get some of those early enrollees in there, get them practicing, and depending on who you guys get matched up with, it can lead into a good off season, which a lot of times that that momentum can carry you into the next year. So hey, however it look, don't matter. You got to win big over. Hey, the thing is, y'all put up 69 points, so 69 points is a lot of freaking points, dog. So hey,
they put up over 60 3 different times. That's more than anybody in the country.
Yep. They talked about that today. So shout out to the Sooners, man, for going 10-2. We'll wait to see who the bowl matchup is going to be. I'm interested to see how they're going to match you guys up. I know we talked early mid-season about y'all possibly playing USC. Their record isn't good enough. They've lost, 4 or 5 games, so I don't think they would match up with y'all. So I don't. It may be maybe it's a SEC team like Ole Miss. Maybe it's Ole Miss in the game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Ole Miss in one of those Texas bowls or something like that. So we'll wait to see about that. That'll be interesting.
Or if Alabama doesn't beat you guys, it's projected in the Cotton Bowl to play them.
Okay, that would 10-2, 10. Yeah, you're right. Look at us giving up chunk plays. I swear, bro, we play to whatever competition. So it's like if we respect you as the Dogs and we get up for you.
Yeah. But you also see Georgia Tech's going to get up for that game too, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like you can tell we wasn't focused, man. It's just missing assignments and stuff. But after you guys played, Texas went ahead and handled Texas Tech. I know you guys as commissioner, or your old commissioner, former commissioner now, wasn't happy about that. Was he in the building yesterday at the Texas game? I know at the beginning of the season he
apparently said and then they put up that video of him at the end of the game. They put up that video of him talking all that yang.
No, on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, they did.
My God. Hey, Texas is savage for that one, man. Shout out to the Longhorns, man. They're gonna play Oklahoma State tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next Saturday. They put it on Texas Tech. Texas Tech, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was watching that game, man. Texas Tech looks bad. I was like, I don't know why I thought they was a dark horse or whatever. Steve G said 10-2 in second year of complete tear it down to the studs rebuild. Good. That's right, man. That's right. Let's go.
That's what you had to do. I've said this a lot. That's what had to happen, man.
Yeah, Stephen G said, "Give him Mizzou." I forgot. Yeah, Mizzou.
That could happen too.
It could. You guys will have to be in the New Year's Six because I think Mizzou is definitely in a lock for New Year's Six.
New Year's Six is the 12 top. Is you got to be a top 12 team, right? More than likely. I mean, that guarantees you a New Year's Six bowl, does it not?
I thought it was the 6 5 through 10. I could be wrong. How many? Like yeah. So 5 through 10 gives you 3 matchups for the New Year's Six.
Okay,
that's the 6. Top 4 go to the playoffs. The New Year's 6 play for the other one. But you could be, like I'm saying, that's what I don't. Louisville is gonna fall out of the top 10. You know what I'm saying? Because they lost today. And then who else? Michigan won't. I mean, Ohio State won't fall. Even if we beat Alabama, I don't know if they're falling out of the top 10 because they're like they could.
Hey, Coach, real quick. Sean,
yeah,
you could talk ball right here, right now, and you're talking about that channel stuff. Shut up and talk about football. Do that, or else I'll just have him kick you out of here too.
Hey man, let's talk some football, baby. Let's talk some football.
That's all we want to do. That's all we want to do is talk ball. Just talk ball.
They beat Alabama? I think OU Alabama would be a great matchup. To be honest with you,
it'd be fun. It'd be fun. It's a good measuring stick. I wouldn't guarantee that you're going to do that. I wouldn't guarantee that you're going to win. It'd be a fun game though. It's a good measuring stick.
Honestly, I'd be more interested in what the point spread would be. You know what I'm saying? Steve G said Texas is going to destroy OK State. Listen, I tell you what they won't be doing is pulling one of those comebacks like they did this week and last week. You can't, like, as a team like that, you can't really, get down to a team like a Texas and come back. I mean, it's different getting down. No disrespect to BYU, man, but BYU should have finished them off early. But Oklahoma State definitely gets the win, 40-34 in double overtime. That is, what's his name, the running back. He goes for like 170 something yards again with like 4 TDs. Ollie, ain't that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, bro, that dude just came on in the second half of the season. Just a score update.
Happy thinking that they were going to get into the championship game because they were up 24-6 at the half.
Somebody Lord. Get a tackle. All right, so it's 6 minutes, 28 seconds and counting left in the Georgia Tech game. Georgia is up 31-16. Yep. And Georgia Tech's got the ball on, looks like the 22-23 yard line, something like that. So
they're doing a lot better this year, though, too, now, huh? Georgia Tech's finally starting to move in the right direction, it seems like.
They are. It's going to be hard with them. And you guys, I know you're not near Georgia, the state of Georgia, but you coming into the SEC's footprint, that's going to help you, bring some more of those Southeastern recruit guys.
Right.
Get there. And that's, it's already hard enough for them to recruit against Georgia, in that same scenario. So it's going to be interesting. Like, this dude is the head coach, Brent Key. He's a Georgia Tech guy. He actually played when we were in school at Georgia Tech. He was offensive lineman, 96 to 2000, I think. So he's got a lot of that pride thing going on, and he wants it to be more of a, sports place, not just academics. Like, Georgia Tech is kind of named for us, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, they definitely don't worry about it, Mike, man. Listen, man, I see comments, and this is not a USC channel, not USC, not Southern Cal. Listen, my co-host is a South Carolina Gamecock. He is currently watching his game, and if they win or lose, he's probably going to be late because he's going to need to calm down emotionally.
Yeah.
So, but let's keep it rolling, man. Missouri, God, man, Sam Pittman and the Arkansas, bro. Like, I mean, Missouri's good. Let's say that first. Congrats to Missouri, 10-2. Unfortunately, they took an L to the Dogs and took an L to who did they lose to? It's the Dogs and Jesus, I don't remember they lost LSU at home. Yeah, but man, I'm watching Arkansas. KJ Jefferson went down in the first quarter. It was ugly, Jason. I mean, absolutely ugly, bro.
I mean, I wish old Razorback Zach was going to join tonight because I'd love to know what's going to happen next. It seems like they said, I mean, didn't they already come out and say that they weren't going to fire?
Yeah. Oh no, they said they didn't like give him a contract extension or anything, but they like reinforced his contract per se. You know what I'm saying? So
why? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know, dog. Listen, I love Pittman, but I don't, he just ain't the dude, dog.
I don't think so
So
either. And like, yeah, could you end up losing KJ because of it? I mean, I would hope so. If I'm KJ, I want the hell out.
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be tough, dog. I mean, I think Clemson, some touchdown, Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Listen, man, with these new quarterback, like, well, not new, but like how they increased the penalty if you hit quarterbacks a certain way or stuff, it really helps the quarterback out a lot because some people like pull up because they don't want to hit the quarterback wrong or whatever, and then the quarterback just keeps running. That's just the play before the touchdown. That's what just happened. Oh, Jesus. Like, get the game over with, bro. Like, I don't.
Haynes King out there getting it done, bro. Haynes King.
Yeah. So Missouri crushing Arkansas, bro. Just absolutely crushing Arkansas.
That's just crazy. But Mizzou's really good offensively, and they've got some big guys on the defensive side too.
For sure. KJ is gone, Gen Z says. Okay, going to the transfer portal or going to the league or his chance at the league. Mars says he might transfer out. Okay.
I think he transfers before he goes. I don't think this is such a deep quarterback class that I mean,
it's a deep quarterback class. What's going on, my man? Appreciate you tapping in, man. I don't know. Steve G, we did talk about it a little bit. John Smith, the guy from Oklahoma, Oregon State, takes the job within less than 24 hours after he took a whopping L to Oregon. Speaking of, Oregon looked like they was a well-oiled machine last night. Bo Nix doing Bo Nix type things. I know some people, it's a lot of people think Jayden Daniels should get the Heisman, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think so too, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I believe if Oregon goes out and beats Washington, that they're gonna give it to Bo Nix, bro. They love Bo Nix, bro.
I think it's ridiculous. So one of them came from the Pac-12 and went and lit it up in the SEC, and one went from the SEC getting killed, and now he's out in the Pac-12.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. So I'm just saying, dog.
He's going to be the only. He's going to be. I think he needs 200 yards to get to 4,000 now.
Yeah,
so he'll get that. He'll get that in the bowl game. He'll be the second guy in history to get 4,000 and 1,000 rushing yards behind Kyler Murray. That's it. This is a no-brainer. It's not his fault that the LSU defense is shit.
What's crazy is, dog, in his bowl game, he needs less than like 70 yards to have a total of 5,000 on the season. He's got 38 and some change passing. He's got over 1,100 rushing, and he's got 50 touchdowns, dog. That is bananas. That's Jayden Daniels. That is bananas, man. But shout out to the Ducks, man, for submitting their spot in the the Pac-12 championship. Can they beat Washington?
DJU? Mateo got DJU too. He got him.
That was crazy. It was crazy playing against. All right, now we gotta get some first downs here, fellas. Let's get some first downs. We need Kendall Milton to get up in there. Yeah, I did get to see that, man. Listen, DJ didn't have a great game last night. Some of his passes were off on those late downs, like third down. But overall, it was. I thought at the beginning, at least, I thought they was in. Got a all right, let me take a look.
Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I wasn't pulling a chicken, I promise, man.
I know, bro. No, it's just
the lighting. You made us be the lighting.
It's just a light. So 2nd and 6, Dogs got the ball, 3 minutes and counting. Get it, Carson. Oh, you got to go get that first down, Carson. Don't slide right there. That's the difference. You got to.
I think you're a little behind me. I think you're just.
Yeah, I am. Hey, I'm a little behind. This TV right here is always a little behind. Gen Z say he thinks Oregon beats Washington in the rematch.
I do too. I do too. I think.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50 because I get that
Washington play that good since then.
We haven't. But outside of Oregon State, Oregon's been beating people. Don't get me wrong, but outside of Oregon State, who have they actually been beating?
Fair.
You know,
that's fair. That's fair.
That's the only thing I say.
Utah. You could say Utah, but because it
Yeah.
was in Utah, but Utah had a third string quarterback. I mean,
yeah,
I still
but I
think
mean,
that Utah's a good program.
Oh yeah, I think they've been looking good. Now, don't get me wrong. I think they've been looking good, but I want to hold off. Like I say, I'm gonna have to look at it. I know we ain't gonna get no more film. I'm 50-50. I don't know who I'm taking in that game. My co-host is up in the building. Stat guy, what's going on? Give us the final score, my guy.
16-7.
16-7. They didn't cover. I took you guys 7.5. Jesus, they didn't cover. I told you that the Dogs wasn't gonna cover that 24, dog. I told you was going to see a whole bunch of running. Where's Kendall Milton? Where is Kendall Milton when you need him? Right. Get that first down. Hey, we got the first down, baby. Make them take them timeouts.
There it is. That's ball game then, right?
Nah, they got 2 timeouts technically. Technically, not mathematically. They still can, if they have to stop us from getting another first down though. Kendall Milton, listen, man, shout out to that dude, man. That dude was straight balling today. So, Stat, give us the feelings, man. Right now, fresh off the brain, man. Give us the feelings. South Carolina goes down to Clemson, 16-7. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That first fumble recovery touchdown, that kind of changed the mood.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, I'll be back real quick. I'll be back.
All right.
First play of the game. 19-yard completion to Xavier Leggett, all over Nate Wiggins. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what we want. Second play of the game. I don't know, man. The ball looked forward to me, but they called it. They let it. And what's crazy? How many times in college football do we see them blow that dead? They didn't blow it dead. It gets housed. Then we go 3 and out, then we throw a pick. Kickoff, Spencer throws a pick. 3 plays in, 19-yard completion, fumble to the house, interception. We cause them to punt, drive like 92 yards or 89 yards, something crazy, tied up with a touchdown. It's like, okay, brand new ball game. But, you tell me before the game that we give up 9 points on defense, and I think my 38-10 is looking, damn, I think we blew them out. But how crazy is that, right? Clemson, all you hear about is how bad their kicking game is. It was the kicker from Charleston, the grad transfer that came back in, had a career long of 41 before tonight, hit a 42-yarder, a 49-yarder, and a 50-yarder. Just offensively, just couldn't too much pressure on Spencer, too many deep, even when we were giving him time, too many deep routes. We got to hit stuff quick. They're on the last couple drives. I know they're trying to get chunk plays, but it's like we're lucky we're giving him the time he's getting. We can't just be chunking the ball downfield. So that kind of sucked. But hey, man, defense played good the month of November. I think Clayton White saved his job. The 3-3-5 definitely made a difference. I think Clayton White saved his job. So we'll see, man. It sucks losing to your rival. It sucks not going to a bowl game, but hey, we were always ready for next year anyway with the recruiting class we came in. I think the biggest surprise takeaway I have from the game is that we didn't see Lenore Sellers. The passing game wasn't working. We weren't giving Spencer any time. I'm very shocked they didn't put Lenore in to run the read option. See if you can get Clemson to sell out on it and try to hit him over the head with Leggett or Marion Brown. I thought coming into the game, I was expecting to see him probably like 15 to 20 plays, and I was kind of expecting to see maybe 5 pass attempts at least out of him, and he didn't step foot at all. So, took it on the nose. But hey, defense. The Clemson's punished us the last couple of years with their run game. I felt we did a great job of holding the run game in check. Obviously they got going late. Our defense just spent way too much time on the field. That last drive, couple chunk runs and got enough first downs to be able to ice it. But end of the day, giving up 9 points defensively to that Clemson team. I know they offensively aren't like world beaters, but you'll definitely take that. It just sucks that second play of the game went back to the house, and then we couldn't get it going from there. But hey, a lot to look forward to. We got our quarterback. I'll be honest, going like early thoughts on next year coming off of how this year ended is, can we see some improvement from the offensive line? We're losing our center. We'll probably go to the portal to get that. But I mean, returning a lot of freshmen and sophomores that played a ton of meaningful snaps. Can we improve? It doesn't matter if they're another year of starting, if they're the same guys and they don't improve and get stronger and better at making reads and talking and communicating, then we'll just have the same offensive line next year, a year older. So I want to see improvement coming into the spring game out of the offensive line. And if we can do that, can be excited for next year, but definitely a tough way to have your season end at home under the lights to your in-state rival. Ugh.
Yeah. Welcome into the show, our guy, Shouty. What's going on, Shouty?
Hey, Shouty.
What's going on, man? Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah. We can hear you. We got you.
Oh, man, you know. I'm just listening to that guy and all this he said he got to look forward to next year. Okay.
Hey.
Shout out to the rest of the county, everybody. How y'all doing?
That's right, man. That's right. Listen, the Dogs are in victory formation, man. Georgia Tech doesn't have any more timeout, so it's going to end Georgia 31-23. We'll get into that one a little bit later. Let's get into a couple of these questions that was going through. Nathan says, Coach, do you think Ohio State coach ends up at A&M? Listen, after the Michigan-Ohio State game, I called Stat Guy, and I was like, Texas A&M got that new coach. He was like, who? I was like, Ryan Day. Listen, I'm just going based off of what the Buckeye Nation, the fans said last year, that if he lost to Michigan 3 times in a row, that they was, he's going to be on the hot seat. Some of them was saying fired. I wouldn't fire the guy. But if you think about it, outside of beating Clemson in the playoffs one year, he hadn't won many big games. He's beating everybody else like he's supposed to, but he didn't beat the Dogs. He hasn't beaten Michigan but once, so I don't know, man. Nathan, listen, I think that's a good idea. If Texas A&M, if Ohio State wants to push him out the door, I'm pretty sure Texas A&M will welcome him in with open arms.
Coach, there's a lot of smoke around Mark Stoops' name right now, and usually when there's smoke, there's fire.
That's what Jason was saying that earlier when we got on.
I think it's getting closer. Steve B's saying that they already hired him. So
Steve G says Jason Lebby he's saying Jason Lebby news has popped. Yeah, so Jason also mentioned that earlier. Jeff Lebby going to no. Where was that?
Mississippi State.
Oh, Mississippi State. Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. He's being targeted, is what it's showing right now. All the major news, Clarion Ledger, which is down there in that area, they're saying targeted. That's only been about 15 minutes. So that's. I think here's the deal. I think it's been pretty much a foregone conclusion. I think they've already said that he was gonna that he's building a staff. So it's that we heard that last night, or I heard that last night. So yeah, I think that's done.
Do you lose the quarterback, the young guy?
No, I don't think so. Depends. You could. I mean, I don't think it's 100% that you don't. But here's a question.
I can tell you this. I don't know if you'll lose him, but Lebby's going to try to take him, because if Lebby goes to Mississippi State, Will Rogers has already said he's entering the transfer portal, so they don't have a quarterback. So,
right.
I don't know if he'll leave though. But hey, man, it's going to get interesting. Listen, these next 2 weeks, you got the NIL. The portal opening up. You got coaches getting fired left and right. So Sean says, does FSU get in over Texas if they win ACC? For sure. Yeah. FSU undefeated. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what the committees talk about. Bro, I don't care nothing about no quarterbacks. They undefeated Power 5. They get in, bro. It's happening. They're not going to do that. I don't think that'll send shockways through everything.
Yeah.
But this is the last year of this format, so why not?
True. Sean, you say why Mark Stoops? Mark Stoops is a great coach. He's been,
he's winning 10 games a year at freaking Kentucky.
He's getting some 8, 9, 10 win teams this year.
Not 10 games a year.
Not 10 a year.
He's won a few. He's had a few 10 win seasons though.
He's had a couple of 10 win seasons.
When's the
He's
last
been to
time
a
anybody else did it, Shawty?
Hey, he's been to 7 straight bowls at
Yeah.
Kentucky, so I'm pretty sure they're probably thinking if we give him more resources, he's going to run a hard-nosed program. He's going to be tough. He's not going to be like Jimbo. I saw a story today from a recruiter. It was on OWN 3. One of the recruiting staffers for Texas A&M that used to be for Texas A&M said Jimbo got to the point where all he cared about was having the highest rated recruiting class, like literally not taking kids because they weren't ranked high enough. And that's how, listen, man, when you're not evaluating, that's what you end up with. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. So Dogs get the win over Georgia Tech. Shawty, you know, it was one of them games. I felt like it was going to be a little boring game. I told Stat Guy that 24 wasn't going to be good because we were probably going to run the ball a lot. At 24-point, spread. I think they played to the level. I feel like Georgia Tech has gotten better, but they still played to the level of their competition, man. I felt like
I think we played very vanilla too. You know,
that's right. Yeah. But this is my thing. Kendall Milton was absolutely dogging him. I would have rather played vanilla and kept giving him the ball. Like, I don't care nothing about him having 15 carries for 160. Keep giving it to him. Let's just run the clock out.
Well, Coach, part of it too, man. We just kind of want to get out of there healthy. We talked about it. Just get out of there healthy. You know what I'm saying? Get a good look for your week of practice and get out of there healthy, man. We got bigger fish.
24/7 says A&M has hired Stoops.
Yeah,
look at that. Listen, man, you got to get moving on these hires. Everybody has to get moving on these hires. You got to try to close this recruiting.
It'll all happen over the next few hours, probably. A lot of it.
Yeah, because you got to close on this recruiting class that's going to be coming up mid-December. The portal, you got to figure out who's hitting the portal, who's not hitting the portal. It's a lot of roster management is about to happen these next couple of hours, man. Let's talk about that. The game. Michigan, Ohio State. If you watch that game, man, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I personally don't think JJ McCarthy's a prototypical like that pro style quarterback that's gonna be high. I think he's athletic, he does good, but the throw that he threw in between the two defenders to score that, like, bruh, that was
2 years in a row. He's done that. He did it at the shoe last year.
That was, he put that thing on the rope. Like, I don't even think the receiver thought it was going to get through there. I thought it was almost like it caught him by surprise. So, Ohio State, man, that offense, Shawty. I know you caught some of that game, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Ohio State and Kyle McCord? The trigger man, that's the problem.
Man, you already know where I'm going.
Trigger man.
You already know where I'm going. That's what lost in the game. It's the trigger man.
He just
because if they had a decent trigger man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Mm-hmm. That game would have came down to coaching. Ohio State had the edge in that.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But just that trigger man, just the inadequacy at quarterback, that's what cost them the game.
It really is. Stat Guy, man, you was kind of going back and forth. We was texting during that game, man. I'll be honest, man. Ohio State, they wasn't going to Marvin Harrison enough.
No, they finally turned it on to him there in the fourth quarter, but it was like too little too late. Like, I guess that's my reasoning why he shouldn't be in New York. Because as a wide receiver, if you deserve to be in New York, they're targeting you all day long, whether you're double covered, triple covered. And it's not like, I don't know. To me, they didn't look for him until they had to. And by then it was too late. And then I think everybody on the panel saw the pick coming from a mile away. Like, we knew that game was fixing to end just like that. But Ohio State, once again, can't get over the hump. And now there's no road for them to backdoor their way into the playoffs like they did last year. They'll probably go to in the year 6 game, but who knows? You're looking – I'd be shocked if Marvin played. I'd be shocked if I don't think he's going to play.
Are they the best one-loss team in the country, that guy?
No, heck no. They're probably the worst one-loss team in the country because they
lost about 6 points to the number 3 team in the nation.
By what? Not my number 3 team.
I'm just saying in terms of just how we have to kind of look at it. It's a tough argument. Their loss is kind of better than anybody else. Everybody else got a worse loss.
Except for Oregon.
They lost to the number 3 team in the nation, bro.
Oh,
when
Washington
they
number
play.
4. Washington number 4. I got
You know what I'm saying?
But that's why I mean, so based off of that, you could be like they have the best loss, but to me, those rankings are all skewed anyway based off of where we saw people in the preseason. We've all watched enough of Penn State play football that if Penn State played 5 teams ranked in the top 25, they wouldn't have 2 losses. If Ohio State, they got the win against Notre Dame, but Notre Dame's not a good football team. So to me, no, like you're telling me right now, you're lining Ohio State and any other one-loss team up on neutral field, I'm not taking Ohio State.
Hank said New Year's Six Bowl, Missouri versus Ohio State. I could definitely see that possibly. I could see Bama, Ohio State. That New Year's Six, those bowls are gonna be interesting. Jason, what best one-loss team, Oregon or Ohio State? Or Alabama?
Alabama's the best one-loss team, I think.
Okay.
I think Alabama's the best one-loss team, but they're not going to be one loss for very much longer. Next week, get that second one. But
come out focused. Listen, man. But hey, Michigan pulls it out, gets the win. They match up with Iowa in the Big Ten championship. If Iowa, listen, man, if their offense was any worse, they'd be giving points to the other team on a regular basis. That offense is absolutely terrible, bro. I just told 13-10 win over Nebraska. So it is what it is. So what'd you say?
I said go Hawkeyes.
Hey, listen, I don't care how good their defense is. This is kind of the opposite of how we talk about Georgia. Like if Georgia got in the shootout, then you say, well, okay, who do you trust to get one stop? And you trust Georgia to get one stop. Michigan and Iowa get into a defensive battle. Who do you trust to score? Michigan or Iowa? I'm trusting Michigan to get 6.
Maybe Iowa's just been saving all their offense for this 1 week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's why the OC already, resigned. So, hey, man, it's gonna be a boring Big Ten. I think they're gonna beat them. I think it'll be slow. They're gonna slow roll them. But is Jim Harbaugh able to coach the Big Ten championship?
Yeah, that was the last game. He had 3. That was his third game.
No, they gonna put the hurting on them dudes. So, over to who should be the Heisman winner, but I don't know if he will be. Jayden Daniels takes on and LSU took on Texas A&M today. In an shootout, Texas A&M actually showed some life on offense. I don't know who was the quarterback for anybody that watched the game. Who was the quarterback? It wasn't Wigman. It wasn't Johnson. It was a left-handed guy, and I hadn't seen him before. Stat guy, you know who it was?
No, I didn't catch. I caught just the highlights from that game. I didn't catch any of that game.
Let me see who that quarterback. He was actually not that bad, and I'm thinking maybe Jaylen Henderson. He was 25 for 35, 294, 2 TDs in a pick. Not bad. He's better than Jayden Daniels threw more touchdowns, but yardage wise and completion percentage, he was better than Jayden Daniels.
Texas A&M got some players, man. Just bad leadership.
They do.
They got some players.
All right. So what do we think, Jason? What do you think Stoops will be able to do at Texas A&M? I think Stoops is a good coach.
For everything that I think he's a good coach too. I think he's a good coach. He's done a really good job defensively. He was there at FSU for a while there too, doing good things. So I think that he's one of those guys that, look, if he could do that at Kentucky when they're not going to get the guys that you're going to get at places like Texas A&M even, you have the ability to play the NIL game now. They play it better than anybody else or as hard as anybody else. Look, we're going to find out. I think that he's definitely going to have to get an offensive guy to come in there with him, but I don't see why you wouldn't. And look, Bob Stoops is his brother, man. They're going to find the guys that they need to go.
Yeah.
So I think that this is one time I would say that they did a good thing at Texas A&M. I don't know that he's the guy, but I think that he's a guy that should do pretty well there. I just don't know how much you going to do at A&M. You know what I mean? That's just a good question.
That's my question. And I saw some people saying that it was a better job than Oregon. I'm like, why? Like they won the Big 12 once when they was in the Big 12. They ain't ever finished better. Outside of 2020 was the only year they finished better than third in the SEC West. They got a lot of resources, but Man, it don't matter. They've had a lot of coaches over these years, hundreds of years or whatever. And in my lifetime, Texas
The win
A&M
percentage
just
is the same today as it was in the 40s.
shouted. Stoops at A&M. Is he the guy?
I think where he is, I think he's going to be a good stabilizer, good bridge guy. I think he's going to come in and stabilize the program, and I can see him being consistent, 8, 9, 10-win games in that range. But is he the guy to get them over the hump? I don't think so. But I do think, like I said, I think he is that good bridge guy. Somebody come in there with some stability and just kind of stabilize that program. But that right now, that's what they got to be thinking about. Because it's just been totally just crap, you know what I'm saying? So they just need somebody to come in and just really get the program headed in the right direction and get that bad smirk off their kind of reputation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Gen Z says, can Stoops recruit against OU in Texas? I don't know if Stoops has ever been, necessarily the guy to recruit. I've talked to some of the guys that played for him. He said all of them say they love him. So I don't, but that's once you get to know him. So that's what I was getting to. Yeah, that Texas A&M money might help him. And this is the thing. Even if he can't, he's just got to be smart enough to go get the guys that can. For the longest, when Spurrier was in Gainesville, it wasn't him recruiting. It was Ron Zook. Ron Zook was out there closing deals. So you just got to get the right guys. I mean, when he was at South Carolina, you had Shane Beamer on the staff, who we all know he can recruit, So it's just about finding guys that can recruit. If you don't want to be the guy to do that, you just be the guy to kind of close the deal. You know what I'm saying? So
he don't have no excuse no more. I'm sorry. He ain't had no excuse no more. That's what he was complaining about, not having the money. My bad.
Yep. Exactly. He said that on one of his coaching shows. He's like, y'all want to beat Georgia? Pay some more money. You know what I'm saying? That type of deal. So Stat, me and you, we think Stoops can coach, man. How is he the guy for at A&M?
Short answer, no. And I think he's who they need right now because he's going to fix the culture and he's going to clear out all that me, money, and get them to where they should be, a physical, tough-nosed football team. But the reason why he's not the guy is because Texas A&M thinks that they're Georgia and Alabama when in reality they're South Carolina. And I know that hates that mindset, but it's like, look, for you to have the haves, you also got to have the have-nots. And you just got to know who you are and either like it or get a new coach every 3 years. And so that's I give him 3 years. I think 3 years we don't see him playing in Atlanta and they pull the plug on him. And I hate that for him because I do think he's a really good coach. But I've said all along that I think A&M is a dead man walking job because they're going to want you to come in. They're going to say, we're going to spend all this money on people, but we want to win. I just don't see it. Not in the time frame, because I do. I think they're going to give him 3 years. And I think we're going to see a ton of kids hit the portal thinking they can go elsewhere to get NIL deals. And I think we're going to see them take a hit in recruiting, and they're going to be too far behind the 8 ball, which they already are, for them to be competitive in the window that they're going to try to give them.
I think, like y'all said, Shawty and Jason, I think like he's going to be Mark Richt. He's going to stabilize it. He's probably going to have some 10-win season. I mean, if you can have a 10-win season at Kentucky, you can have a 10-win season at Texas A&M. Especially with the divisions.
There's no more divisions. Yeah,
exactly. So and who knows, maybe even next year, to be honest, because I don't know what their schedule looks like right now, but we're still only playing 8 SEC games. So you get those 4 out of conference games and win those, and then you win six out of your 8 games. You're 10-2. If you get Vandy on the schedule,
might get you in the playoffs in the SEC now,
and 10-2 could get you in the playoffs. Exactly. So, hey, LSU finishes the season 9-3. So Brian Kelly, who knows? Maybe they match up with Notre Dame in a bowl game. That'll be great to see if the powers that be are out there listening. Let's talk about another coach that's always in the news. Primetime fell a little short last night or today to Utah. Hey, listen, they didn't have Shadur. So, I mean, we already know Utah is kind of offensively inept with their third string quarterback, but they kept it close. they still fall short. They don't get to go. Of course, last week, was the nail in the coffin for the bowl win, but they didn't get to really finish on a high note. So, what we thinking going forward for Colorado, Stat Guy?
Man, I like the fact they're heading to the Big 12. I think that'll help with the wins potentially, depending on the schedule. I mean, we'll probably see an uptick in wins again next year, but man, Colorado's not going to win. They're not a playoff team. I mean, they are who they are, and so I think Prime's going to leave after next year when Travis Hunter leaves. But that's my thoughts on it. But they are who you are. Enjoy the money that people have probably donated to the school to help you with NIL and stuff. But it's about to be a short-lived window.
Yeah. So, Shawty, hey, man, we talked about this a little bit on your channel, man. Hold on. Let me get that back off of there. Colorado, man, what we thinking for next year?
You know what, Coach? I don't know because, the thing that Prime hasn't been able to prove yet is, can he recruit?
Yeah.
Maybe he can win the transfer portal again. I don't know, but honestly, I kind of spoke on my channel. I need to see more really from the coaching staff. I mean, I'm really disappointed in what I saw as a coaching staff as a whole this year. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of him just bouncing and going somewhere else, I don't know. If he don't do nothing at Colorado, what am I hiring for?
True.
I mean, what I saw on the go ahead.
No, go ahead. They got to replace the OC. They're gonna have to replace the OC. That dude, Sean Lewis, gonna be gone.
And I saw where they hired Warren Sapp, I think, too, for sure. I think that's beneficial.
I
just don't know how big that is.
I'm not with that one either. I think that's dumb.
There's a lot of character flaws and things he got going on.
Does he have any high school coaching experience or anything? Like, I don't know, bro. I just can't. That's right. You're right. That's right, Jen. They do need an O-line. This is the thing about the portal. O-line is literally the hardest position to actually hit on when you get guys out of the portal, because most of those guys, they're not transferring because they want to play. I mean, not just because they want to play. It's because they can't play at the school they're at. Not, I want more playing time. It's they've been passed over, year in and year out by guys younger than them and things of that nature. That's normally how the O-line goes. If you're a good O-lineman, you're going to be in that 8 to 9 man rotation at some point in the season. It's rare that you get some gems out of there. So I think they're going to have to turn JUCO for some O-linemen, and that's not even a guarantee or whatever.
Yeah, well, I was going to say with the O-line thing is, like, there's the kid from Yale, the offensive lineman from Yale that's like 6'9", 380 or whatever, the left tackle. And it's like that's the thing is you're going to have to go and actually do your homework on some of these Group of 5 or FCS programs and find you a diamond in the rough somewhere. But I don't think you can just build an offensive line out of the portal. I don't think it's going to be what you think it is.
Yeah. So, Jason, Colorado 2024 in the Big 12. What you thinking?
I mean, I'm definitely not as high on them as I was before they did that to Sean Lewis, and I'm not sure that I understand this with Warren Sapp. As much as I think that Warren Sapp was a great player and maybe he can motivate and recruit, I think that you need to. I think that wasn't the right. That's you on the line there if he goes and screws up. You know what I mean? And hadn't been that long. I think, Shawty, you said this on your show. It ain't been that long since he got arrested. You know what I mean?
That's I'm trying to see how it's going to play in the living room.
Utah and Arizona are the leaders for next year in the Big 12. I think that they take a step forward. But I also think that it's going to take a couple of years. I think they have the best quarterback in the league for sure. They'll definitely win more, but I think it's between Utah and Arizona, to be quite honest with you.
Big facts. So Steve B said Utah win the Big 12 with Rising back for his 7th year. I don't see why they wouldn't. Even without Rising, to be honest with you, I just trust Kyle Whittingham that much. I think they should be the favorites coming in regardless Hank says Sap is a recruiting asset. I mean, the name, if the dad, when you go into the living room,
he can recruit.
This is my thing. When you go into the living room, you gotta make the parents believe it, and they gotta like you. So the dad is probably gonna know him, you know, for the most part. But we can listen, not for nothing. We're getting to that generation where, like, you know, some of these younger people maybe ain't paid attention when Sap was that dude. I don't know. He ain't like Deion name resonate through generations. Not every player that's great name, you know, resonate like that. And if you start looking them up, what you don't want your parents to have to do is look him up. Because like Shawty and Jason said, some of them arrest records gonna come up. Some of how he talk on some of these podcasts, like all right, hold on. Give me 1 minute, fellas. All right, let's get rid of that guy. Appreciate you coming back in, Mike. My bad. Seawalk, I'll give you the link if you want to come in, my guy. I know you said you may or may not be able to come in, but we'll put it in here if you want to come in. He said, Gen Z says Deion is going to hit on Texas recruits to Colorado. He's going to definitely try. But yeah, the Warren Sapp thing, like I said, I just don't know how much that's gonna resonate, you know, with some of the guys. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what
Utah
about
gets
that score, coach?
what's up?
I was gonna say this. One thing about that score, you see the score 23-17. A lot of people probably. I'm sorry.
I was about to say it had a lot to do with what you were saying they need to do in the first place. Run
Right, and then a lot of people probably would say, well, it's 23-17. They did that with the backup. If Shador were there, they probably would have won. Let me tell you what, they would have called a whole different game plan if Shador were there.
Yep. If Shador was there, they probably would have passed the ball a lot. In the first half, they ran the ball 11 times, which I know 11 doesn't sound like a lot, but for Colorado, that's like for another school running the ball 25 times in the first half. Hey, and they did what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take some time off the clock. It's supposed to give your defense time to rest. It's supposed to shorten the game when you're outmatched, you know, talent-wise. And in pretty much every game they've played in, I know Deion did a good job of bringing some people there. They've pretty much been, you know, outmatched in recruiting. So, let's see. No problem, Mike. Hey, man, you know we got you. But yeah, man. So shout out to Utah. Hopefully, Cam Rising can stay healthy. I know some people. Matter of fact, it was who was the coach? Oh, Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell complaining about Cam Rising getting another year because he's a 7-year senior.
What was that about?
He said, I thought the college game was for kids. He said, now we're talking about grown men.
He's got a 6-year senior playing quarterback.
I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of funny myself, to be honest with you. But stat guy Juicy when Luke Fickell came out and said that.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing's dumb though. I mean, he had injuries. It's not like it was some like made up thing. You know, he had the extra year. He got hurt. He gets the injury waiver. It's not like it was some made up thing where he played like 6 games or 7 games this year and then got hurt. And then the NCAA thought about it like, I don't know. I didn't have any issues with it.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, the only problem I'm like Jason, like, I don't have a problem with you complaining about it if your quarterback isn't one of those COVID, you know, players.
Yeah.
Like honestly, Rising's a 7-year player who didn't even get to play this year. So technically
he didn't play other years either. This will be his 4th year of actually being able to play. So the time that he's been in college, there was some stuff that happened at Oklahoma. There was some stuff that happened at Texas. He never played on either one of those teams. He never saw the field. They could have very easily. I mean, this will be his 4th season of actually being available to play. So it's far be it for me to take up for Utah after all the crap that they've said throughout the last year or so. But I like him, and I think, like I said, I don't understand that. Look, if he's able to go, who cares? You got people saying stuff like, go get a job, blah, blah, blah. Bro, relax, everybody, relax. He's a graduate. He's a graduate. You're supposed to get an extra 2 years on graduate transfers too. So it is what it is, man. Let him stay and play.
Hey, Coach, can we circle back to this A&M thing?
The A&M job?
Yeah. I I just looked at their schedule, and I need to rethink my phrase on this. It would not shock me if Mark Stoops has them in the playoffs next year. As far as SEC schedules go, it is cupcake central.
They got to beat Texas. They got to beat Texas. They never do that.
Here is Texas A&M's 2024 schedule. In the non-conference, they play McNeese, Bowling Green, New Mexico, and they open the year with Notre Dame, who they get at home. In conference, their road games are Auburn, Florida, Mississippi State, and South Carolina. Trash. Their home games are Arkansas, LSU, Missouri, and Texas. So they're
stop. So Texas literally sounds like the hardest team they got to play next year.
And they get them at the house.
And they get LSU at the house. So even if Nussmeier is good for LSU, they get them at home.
Right.
Hey, Stoops say, why not? What? Hey, Shawty, Stoops been watching the channel. He said, why not me, dog?
He looked at that schedule and was like, this schedule's way easier than Kentucky's schedule. I'm out. Deuces.
And he got the biggest thing that most people have to worry about is the resources.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Bet.
So
Hey, man.
I'm on the Texas A&M 2024 playoff hype. Buy my tickets now.
Good looking at that schedule. Good looking. Listen, man, on to another game.
You got to win 8 games.
Yeah, he got to win 8 games. So I think he will. I think he'll win 8, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's first year, so they're going to have to get used to it, used to his style of coaching and things of that nature. But I think Stoops will win 8. The question is, can he win 10, man? So today, the Apple Cup, Washington gets a tight win against a tough Wazoo team, man. Cameron Ward I thought he played pretty good, man. One touchdown he threw to the corner of the end zone. Dude got the 1 foot down right across the pylon. That was like you couldn't have threw that ball no better with that defense on him. But UW pulls it out, man. The offense though hasn't been chugging along, shouted like they were, at one point in the season. What do you think that is? I mean, they actually got a receiver back last week. So it's like now, what I'm saying? I know they're missing one of their linemen, but they got a receiver back that they were missing all year, and it hasn't been popping like that,
I don't know
this
what
is the thing that Washington has happened to their team.
Mm-hmm.
They have done something that you really don't want to do. It peaked out. I don't know if it's where, maybe just enough film out there or what, but they peaked out way too early. They haven't been, that same team maybe after week 5 and 6. It's been a struggle ever since. They're just not the same team where you want to be peaking now. They peaked out maybe, week maybe 5 6.
All right. So
I really think defensively they got the worst defense in the top 4.
Sure. For sure. I think that's what I was saying, dog. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons. I mean, when your defense is on the field for a long time, people putting drives together, that limits your offense. So maybe their offense can't even get a rhythm because when they do get out there, they're getting fewer possessions, whereas before maybe they was getting more possessions to have more stabs at the end zone. Rome Odunze is still that guy, regardless of what's going on with the rest of the offense. That dude is still that guy. And listen, I'm not saying that Marvin Harrison is not going to be the first one drafted, but all I'm saying is 2 years in a row, his stats wasn't better than Rome Odunze. That's all I'm saying. And I watched Rome Odunze, and I hadn't seen anybody cover this dude yet. And when he is covered, he still catch the ball for some reason. And maybe Michael Penix is just better than, of course he is better than Kyle McCord, but maybe their offensive coordinator is more focused on getting the ball to Rome Odunze than Ohio State is getting the ball to Marvin Harrison. But I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those dudes coming up in the upcoming draft. But Wazoo played a good game today. Stat guy, me and you was watching that game. What'd you think about Wazoo, man?
Yeah, I mean, I feel Washington State's that team that can beat anybody any different week. It's just like something about Washington State feels like they always give somebody a game. The Apple Cup is always an exciting game to watch. I'll be honest, it almost feels like Washington's offense has gotten to the point where they don't care about sustaining drives. It's all or nothing. Like they are looking for the home run on every single play, and either they get it or they don't. I will tell you that reverse they ran on 4th and 1 to Adunze was absolutely gross. Like it was just nasty. And that led to the game winning field goal. But it was just like, man, I just felt like the defense is played. I feel like the defense is getting better. Trice is probably going to be one of the first defensive linemen taken off the board in the draft. It felt like he was on top of Cameron Ward every other play. I mean, he wasn't just living in the backfield. So their defense is doing their job, but offensively, and maybe Thad's right. Maybe they've just peaked or plateaued or whatever, but it feels just like they're trying to hit the home run. They just want all the ESPN top 10 plays, and they can't put a drive together, which is crazy because they have running backs. They have the weapons on the outside. It's like, bro, you could dink and dunk this thing and work anybody you want to down the field, and instead everything's a shot.
And not for nothing, man. I know it was a monsoon last week against Oregon State, and Penix only threw for like 196, but he made the throws when he needed to. I think we can safely say, at least in my opinion, that Penix not going to win the Heisman because he only finished with 204 yards a day. Threw it 18 for 33, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. That's not Heisman numbers 2 weeks in a row, and that's not even to mention early in the season. I want to say he had a game like that as well.
The Arizona game, or the Arizona State game, it picked 6.
Arizona State. Arizona State. He's
had bad games. He lost that thing weeks ago.
So Bo Nix, and it looks like it's a Bo Nix, Jayden Daniels thing. And I'm saying, like I say, I think Jayden Daniels has played out of his mind and he should get it. But I really feel like if Bo Nix and Oregon beat Washington next week in the championship, it's gonna be Bo Nix, to be honest with you. So Shawty, what you thinking on Bo Nix, Jayden Daniels before we move on to the next game?
You know, I would just say, I mean, I kind of agree with you. It's just a one point that I think the kid from LSU has.
50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards.
There you go. I got better numbers than Joe Burrow when he won.
Ooh.
Now, granted, the record ain't the same, but I got better numbers than Joe Burrow had when he won.
That's a good point.
One thing that's going to be hard to argue.
That's a good point.
I don't know how you can make the argument against it. And again,
they love, but man, I just watching the game, man. They love Bo Nix. I'm telling you, dog. Like it's y'all know it's a media thing too. It's not just
no doubt. It's turned into a team award, and it's not freaking. It's not Jayden Daniels' fault.
Bo Nix got some hell of stats too now.
They're 1,000. He's at least 1,000 behind Jayden. He's at least 1,000 behind Jayden.
What you gonna say, Stat?
My biggest problem with is that it's like they love wins more than the stats, and that's what are we talking about? I mean, if that's the case, wait and give it out at the end of the national championship and give it to the best player on whoever wins the Natty. If that's how they're going to do it, I mean, but they've gotten away from it being the best player in college football, and that's just and again, that's my point with you're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. potentially being in New York. With him not even being the best wide receiver in college football is just insane to me when you look at stats.
And they haven't played anybody all freaking year except for the 2 games, the one against Penn State and today.
It's like I told somebody on Twitter, man, it's not about what we think you can do, it's what you actually do. You know what I'm saying? And when we're talking about receivers, Marvin Harrison's going to win the Biletnikoff, but I'll be honest with you, it should be Rome Odunze. I said that in the preseason.
Look,
he did him in last year, you know.
LSU, coach, even the kid at LSU's had a better year.
Malik Neighbors.
He's had a better year. Guys, and that's the whole thing is that if you look at the schedule that LSU's played, it's played the toughest schedule in the country.
It's been a doozy. I can tell you that.
The toughest schedule in the country. It's ranked there as the hardest schedule in the country this season, and they've lost 3 games against the teams that they've lost to have a combined 3 losses.
Yep. So, hey man, but we'll see how that's all going to
survive in today. What?
That's the next game, bro. Listen, when we was on the show, when y'all we were sipping soon was on there. We was telling y'all how Jordan Hare is for Alabama. Over the past 6 times, they're 4-2 there. Going into the day, they were 3-2. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, it's just crazy things happen, bro. Listen, as a defensive coordinator, Shawty, I don't know, bro, it is 4th and I don't even know how forever.
31.
It's at
31.
least 30.
31.
Why are we only rushing 2 people?
I mean, I get what they trying to do.
Okay, before you get into it,
No.
Charlie, before you get into it, so they rushed the 2 D ends, and then they kept another D lineman or linebacker, whichever. I couldn't tell what his number was. He was spying Jalen Milroe. Why are we spying? He got to run for 30 yards. Why are we spying?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I get what they're trying to do, but I'm more of a fan that I'm gonna always send at least 3. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have sent 4.
That's what I told
Sure.
Stat. I would have sent 4, drop 7. I would have had 4 standing on the goal line and 3 in the probably on the 5 in the 10 range. And we playing zone, so I'm not running around you. I'm like they was playing man in the back end, dog.
Just run to the ball. You just don't let nobody get in the end zone. And listen, this is what I tell my guys. They throw the ball in the end zone. If you have to, I'll take the penalty.
Yeah, I'm like, grab the dude, bro. Grab the dude.
Because in college, a penalty would have just put the ball in the 16. It's not the NFL. They're not putting on the 2. They still got to get a 16-yard pass.
Ain't no way you let nobody catch it in the end zone. If you're gonna do that, just rush 3 and play breathing, and then have everybody rally to the ball. Just that.
And how you standing on the guy that got beat was standing on the goal line before the ball was snapped. How you still get beat with the guy behind you, dog? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
It's just bad. It ain't nowhere around it. But they gave up, I think, 2 big third down, like 2 3rd and 30s or something. Like, they just played bad third down defense, man. A lot of the game when it really mattered.
Yeah, I mean, listen. For the most part of the game, though, they was listen. I listen. Bama got a good defense, but Auburn's like, well, we can't really pass the ball, so we just gonna run on y'all. And they was able to run the ball. They was able to move the ball up and down the field, just rushing the ball. I mean, you had the occasional Peyton Thorne, throw or whatever, but for the most part, they was just running the ball, Jason. So I mean, you said Alabama the best one-loss team.
Yeah,
they beating Oregon playing like that.
I don't know. Well, who's Oregon played?
That's what I say. That's what I say.
Who's Oregon played? You know what I mean? So, I mean, do I trust Alabama more than I do Oregon? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you guys are going to keep telling me that it's so hard to win out on the plains, then and he went and did it somehow, then fine. You know what I mean?
It's for Alabama for sure. Always hard.
New Mexico State didn't struggle that way last week, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but look, that's just my. I mean, look, man, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the guy that has the #1 talent roster in the country, which we know is Alabama. Okay, I just think that that's the case. So, in the end, and I think that they've gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah.
Since for the rest of the year. But look, man, we'll see. I mean, we're going to find out a lot about Alabama next week when they go up against your boys. I expect that to be a hell of a game. I expect it to be a hell of a game. But if I'm a Texas fan, I'm really praying that Georgia beats Bama, because that would be the other thing. I think that Georgia loses, Georgia's still probably going to get a shot.
Yeah. Shawty, you was about to say something.
I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to tell you what. If Alabama offense ran like Auburn, they would be hell. Alabama try to throw the ball to them. If they would run the ball, run more like Auburn commits to the run with their quarterback, putting them in the run game.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Auburn had a good game plan. Like one thing I will say is, you might not like his character, but Hugh Freeze, I think Hugh Freeze can coach. And I think Auburn's going to be some trouble in about 2 seasons once he gets some more guys up in there. I mean, it's going to be a little bit harder. Nathan says Georgia wins next week. Listen, I don't care if it's by 1 point or 20. I just want the dub, get us in the playoffs. Just let us in, and we'll do the rest from there, man. So, Stat Guy, what you got on it? Iron Bowl.
I got that Hugh Freeze needs to hire me to be his special teams coordinator. I know that, because you best believe I'd have told my man, if you are not underneath the ball as it's coming down, if you have to move your feet at all, Just run the hell away. Just run the hell away. You coming up now?
Not
He
that
like
hard.
the weather's bad. Now you
Not
running
that hard.
up. Now you slip and fall on your butt as you're trying to catch it. You don't secure the ball. Ball game.
Listen, hey man, I don't understand that. I know the coaches get on these guys for not catching the ball, because it's field position and things like that. But even in the Georgia game, 2 times Makai Muse caught the kickoff running out of bounds. I'm like, well, he had to stop his momentum from going out of bounds. I'm like, bro, this is a kickoff, not a punt. Let the ball go out of bounds. So we get the ball on the 35-yard line.
Right.
And you gotta know field awareness, dog. If it's a punt, it's different. But just like with the guy at Auburn, I'm pretty sure he got chewed out at some point this season for letting the ball roll. So he was like, I'm gonna try to catch this thing. And that was the worst thing he could do. But not to Auburn's credit.
Freeman at Oklahoma, that dude is a freaking punt return bad waiting to happen.
Listen, man.
Holy
hey,
shit.
man, not for nothing. Auburn held him. They got the penalty, he got the sack, got a penalty, whatever. Again, it was a bad play, but he didn't lose the game for him, bro. Like, you can't give up. You can't give up 4th and 30.
Well, and so with that, my rule of thumb is you play prevent if you're trying to prevent the win. Like, that's just a horrible. They got to go 31 yards. I'm bringing 6 or 7. I'm giving him no time. I'm bringing 6 or 7. Complete a 10.
I'm bringing 4.
No,
I'm bringing 4. Listen, I'm bringing 4.
At least 4.
I'm bringing 4. There's no spies. I'm not spying because all my defense is back there. So if he does break out, he's gonna have to break through a wall of another at least 5, even if 2 of them getting blocked. So I'm bringing 4. You get after the quarterback. I'm not.
You bring 7, and if he breaks, you might don't have enough back there to get him down.
That's true, but that's why I'm bringing 4, dropping 7.
But the pass is going to be 10 yards. They're going to have to make 20 yards happen. I'll trust my athlete.
If he break the line of scrimmage when you send 7, because they coming. You know what I'm saying?
If he wants to try to run for 31 yards, I'll take that. That's fine. But that's what I mean. I'm pinning my ears back and I'm bringing the house. But I live by the sword, die by the sword. That's how I like.
What's gonna happen? If he break through the line of scrimmage and you send 7 or 8, something like that, ain't nobody back there gonna be able to get too much open field.
So Mike Wilson say he's gonna be launching a podcast soon. Hey man, shout out to Mike. Gonna be starting his own podcast. Once you get it up and running, let us know and we'll be over there. Speaking of, we need 8 subs, people. If you ain't already subbed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button for this video.
We need 8 for 2. We need 8 for 2.
8 for 2. We need 8 for 2, baby. Hey, we on the mission.
Make this happen,
listen,
folks.
man.
Make
That's
this
right,
happen.
man. Road to 2K, baby. Road to 2K. That was the goal for 2023, man. So y'all, if you know somebody that ain't subscribed, make sure you tell them, man. But listen, Bama got the win.
Away from 3,000, man. Come on.
Hey, another good stat I didn't know. Did you hear where we the only team in FBS to not have a punt?
Yep. They either call a fair catch, it either rolls dead or it goes out of bounds. Nobody's returned a punt on us this year.
That's crazy. That over an entire year. That's the most insane.
Now, I know there's other things that goes into the punter award, but you telling me our guy shouldn't be the Ray Guy Award winner? He's literally not had that, because that has a lot to do with why we don't have anybody returning, because he has hang time. We get down there, our gunners are good, but he gives us a good punt. You know what I'm saying? He punts it out of bounds, lets it roll dead, and he's averaging over 43, 44 yards a punt, man. I'm like, hey man, get a guy a Ray Guy Award, man. He's not even a semifinalist.
My thing with it, it's not like he's punting it 20 yards and so they're on top of him. Like, he's booming them, but he's getting the hang time. Great angle punter. I mean,
yeah. So, man, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, he's not even a finalist. But we were talking about some of those coaching jobs earlier. Jason gave us this right here. Mississippi State. This is from On 3, right? Yep. On 3. Mississippi State expected to hire Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Levy as the next head coach. Listen, for those Oklahoma fans that were complaining, you got what you wanted. Jeff Levy's up out of there. So, all right, Jason. So, who's your top guy, and who do you think the top guy is to replace him? Somebody already in house?
I think it's you've got 2 guys in house. You've got Matt Wells, who was the head coach at Texas Tech before, and then you've got Seth Luttrell, who was at North Texas before that, and they're both analysts right now in-house on the job. I think they're probably the guys that you go get, or that I think that they're clearly next in line. I think it's a seamless transition, and they're both offensive. They're thought very highly of in the circles, right?
Okay.
I think that you probably need to shake the tree of Sean Lewis a little bit. At least find out, don't you think?
I think so.
That's just kind of my thoughts.
I think he's gonna be a steal for somebody.
Yeah, I think you definitely do that. But I know there's not going to be any shortage of suitors for him. So I think that Coach Venables is probably happy with one of the two guys he's got. And I think that they'll probably Joe John Finley is going to be probably going with Levy. He's his tight ends coach and stuff too, but that's probably okay. But so you might end up seeing both of them stay. I don't know. Just kind of see. I think that the other guy that's probably a dark horse for the job would be Emmett Jones, who is the receiver coach that has been recruiting his ass off since he got there. He was the receivers coach at Tech last year, and then before that, Coach has a connection to him. Coach Roybal has a connection to him. They're both coached at Dallas Skyline. So, but he's definitely one of the top receiver coaches in the country. He's recruiting his ass off. So I think there's a possibility that they might try to do that and keep him around. But I think that he should definitely be the recruiting coordinator. If not, again, I don't think that there's a shortage of guys right there on staff. So,
I got you. Okay, so probably in-house.
I think
probably
so.
In-house. That way, it's a lot less. Shawty, how many OCs did you have when you was at Georgia? Only one. I thought you had two.
Two, sure, maybe three.
Because just bringing somebody in-house to keep the same terminology and stuff, that'd be a big help, right?
But the thing about us, it didn't matter because our head coach was truly good. So when someone came in, the offense never changed. It's basically another big.
I got you, and that's how Kirby kind of, like now that Todd Monken's got put his thing into the offense. Whoever, like Mike Bobo's running a lot of Todd Monken stuff. If Mike Bobo chooses one day to get back out into the head coaching world, I'm pretty sure whoever he hires after that is gonna just run that.
Can I pose something to Jason? Not necessarily pose. It's actually kind of rhetorical. But
okay. Before you get to that, Mike say, can we poach Georgia's special team coach? Well, actually, Mike, we got Kevin Butler as the kicker coach. Everybody else, it just chips in special teams. We don't have one guy.
And I don't think he's really a coach. It's more like what I mean?
Yeah. He's like, we don't have we're not paying him as the special teams. Like, I think Scott Cochran came back. He helps out, but a lot of the defensive coaches help out, with punt return, things like that. The only one that's dedicated is Kevin Butler to the field goal kickers. But go ahead and pose your question out there.
Well, like I said, I don't even know if it was a question. It might just be something more rhetorical. Just from the standpoint of, you almost have to be careful what you ask for. You have the fourth, best offense in the nation in terms
scoring
of
offense.
Yard.
Yep.
Total yard scoring off for the nation. And now you're possibly going to be losing the quarterback who helped make that happen, and the OC.
Yep.
I mean, to me, then with you transition to a new conference, it could be argued. I think a lot of people say it's tough.
You're not wrong.
It seems like that don't affect the plan. Y'all say 2025 a year and this thing like that. That's a big loss.
Let me jump in here, Jason, to ask you one thing, because this is Stat Guys knows my philosophy on what Shawty just said. Your center from this year, is he coming back?
No.
Ooh, that changes my outlook for next year. The reason why I say that is
He's been bad.
No. I'm not talking about his skill level as far as blocking. Let me tell you
the ball.
There's three people responsible for play calling and protection. It's the OC, the quarterback, and the center. Those are the three people. That's why I personally, my philosophy is I don't ever like to replace all three in 1 year. You know, like technically we replaced 2 of the 3, replaced our quarterback and our OC. Difference is both of those guys were in-house and getting playing time and helping out with play calling. But like the year that Mark Richt brought in Schottenheimer, we replaced the center, the quarterback, and the OC, and it didn't work out well because those are the people that call the calls, the play calls, and the protections for everybody. So that's the reason why I asked. I know I know blocking wise he probably wasn't good, but he still has to be the guy that calls out or communicates with Dylan Gabriel to say, hey, we need to be running this, and Dylan, they can go back and forth. That's why I asked that. So, but how you feeling going that y'all replacing all 3 of those guys?
I mean, you got to be a little uneasy about it, right? You got to be a little uneasy. What I would tell you about the 2 guys that are with Matt Wells and Latrell, they've both been head coaches and offensive coordinators that have done very well. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's not like you're bringing in guys that don't know what they're doing. And if anything that I'll stay with this is that I think that Levy struggled to build a goal for what he needed to do against a certain team. It was almost like he just ran plays for the sake of running them sometimes, especially in the Kansas game. So
okay.
I think that whether it's Matt Wells or Latrell, I think you're gonna probably get a little bit better, more understanding why they're doing what they're doing, and they run very similar.
You're keeping the same verb. That's what's going to be key.
Same verbiage, same. Yeah, I don't think it changes. I don't think any of that changes. I think you stick with the same type of deal there when it comes to that. That they probably got their own little spin on it, of course. But and they're both very respected when it comes to running offenses. I don't think that you're going to get a big change there, particularly if you're trying to keep Jackson around, you want it to be very similar. Now, what I would say about the whole center thing, which I get, but I think that they've been ready to out him anyway. The guy that has come in in place of him when he was injured this year. He looks good. The offensive line's starting to look a little better. The younger it got, even Tyler Guyton didn't play much in the last few games, and he's a first-round talent, or size-wise anyway. But the guys that they seem to be like they're going to be a little better. But I would say that if it's going to be Jackson, what does he care about the center? You know what I mean? It's like I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I was about to say the quarterback preference on the center has nothing to do with it. It's like, for instance, Carson Beck was on the staff. I personally felt like Carson Beck's been the best passer on the team. He just ain't had the experience. So I was glad, and Stat can tell you, and Shawty, when Cedric Van Pran said he was coming back, I was like, thank you. We're replacing our OC and replacing our quarterback, regardless of how much experience they have in the system. We're replacing the starters, dog, and you got to keep one. And Cedric Van Pran has helped out a lot, with Carson Beck. That's what I'm saying. Like, regardless of whether they, like I say, if the other guy's been getting some playing time, then that's good because he's gotten some practice calling protections and letting the quarterback know what's going on.
Nobody
that kind of thing.
I'm in the same place I was in though all the way to begin with. Is that my expectations are not ultra high for the first year in the SEC. I think they've got a really hard schedule, number one.
That's true.
Home and away. They're going to be on the road at Mississippi State. They're going to be on the road at LSU, and they're going to be on the road on the Plains. Then they've got to deal with Alabama at home. They also have obviously Texas, and then they're playing Missouri as well. So, I mean, you're talking about the schedule that's not that it even looks harder now that we've seen what Missouri's done this season. It even got tougher. So,
well, I told you y'all got the short end of the stick between you and Texas.
No doubt.
For sure.
In the end, I think they're going to be better in a lot of places than they were. I think that the quarterback position, I think that it's definitely a question now. It's definitely a question now. What I would say is I do feel like you do have some continuity there with these guys, and what Hank said, an ex-head coach is going to be better with game managing. You would hope, you know what I mean? You would hope that. Yeah. So I have a lot of respect for Seth Latrell. I have a lot of respect for Matt Wells. I think that Matt Wells got a bad deal at Texas Tech. He was winning. The guy wasn't doing anything but winning. He was, he won more games in his 2 years there than Joey has in his 2.
So Bishop Franks, sorry not to cut you off, but Bishop Franks says, Rock Boy, he says Mark Stoops finalizing Texas A&M contract.
Yep.
Mark Stoops about to get that dough because we know they're gonna shell it out. Him and John Smith at Michigan State. Listen, listen, both
got his
programs.
Thing,
listen, both programs that paid ridiculous amounts of money for people that hadn't really proven anything. I mean, yes, I know.
Michigan State they have to pay their money so far. They terminated his contract.
Well, initially, you know what I'm saying? Initially, you know what I'm saying?
Something. They're gonna have to pay his ass something.
So we're gonna see how much that have to pay. But yeah, man, it's getting crazy. They both went I guess, like you say, stabilize the program route because John Smith from Oregon State, he's a good hire for that. I still
undervalued probably in that deal a little. I think so. I think he's going to be better.
I think not having a solidified future of conference or whatever they're doing played in that too, because I have to believe that if they was already in a conference, knew what their future was going to be, that somehow and Oregon State was able to kind of give him a bonus or whatever, he would have stayed at his alma mater. But with that uncertainty and Michigan State coming in, they like, hey, look, man, we ain't got no divisions no more. We can give you better recruits. Things of that nature, right? Stat.
Yeah, I mean I was shocked to see it, but then I was talking to some other people today. I was like, it almost makes sense because you're talking about going from Power 5 to who knows where Oregon State's going to end up, and now you have a chance to be in the Big Ten. And I love that move from Michigan State. I think his coaching style fits well in the Big Ten. That pro style is going to transition very, very nicely. He's always been known for having good defensive teams, even out playing in the Pac-12, which doesn't play a whole lot of defense. So I thought that was an outstanding hire for Michigan State.
Yeah, man. And if he takes his OC with him, we know they can make quarterbacks better because DJ has looked way better, in the Oregon State pro system than he looked in 2 years at Clemson. So I think he'll do some decent things. I mean, the Big Ten is still going to have a hard path. Yes, Nathan, they came out this morning. I don't even know. Like I say, they played last night. I don't even know if it was more than 12 hours later. They was already announcing.
I want to say it was like halftime of the Michigan-Ohio State game when I
heard
the announcement came down. But I heard it this morning that it was in the works. So makes you wonder what was on his mind last night.
Listen, somebody came out on Twitter, one of the radio personalities around there, and said that going into the game, it was like 20 minutes before kickoff. He said, heard a lot of smoke about John Smith to Michigan State. If that's already been worked out, that's not good for Oregon State tonight because he wasn't really focused on the game per se. So I don't know, man. But listen, man, I just want to tip a cap to Liberty, man. Finishing the season 12-0. I know the CFP got Tulane ranked. This should be the one loss. I mean, this would be the G5 team that goes to the New Year's Six, not Tulane. Tulane did win, so I want to say they got to play in their conference. Both of them got to play in their conference title, but they should be ranked higher than Tulane, man. Tulane's claim to fame is losing to Ole Miss at Ole Miss. I mean, that's their claim to fame. So CFP, get it right, man. Liberty finished the season 12-0.
On the plus side, Tulane does have to face SMU, which also ran the table in that conference. SMU might give them a game.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Look good.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, man, quickly we're gonna go around the table and get our projected. Who you picking to win? Who you picking to win the ACC? Let's start there first. Stat guy, ACC, Florida State, Louisville. Who you got?
Louisville.
Shout it.
And I'm gonna probably go with Louisville too.
Ooh, Jason.
Yeah, Louisville. I still got Louisville.
I'm gonna go Florida State, dog. I was watching Louisville. Now, granted,
did they win tonight?
No, the Kentucky beat 38-31.
Huh?
They just
no. I'm talking about Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State won. Florida State won. Yeah.
What the score was?
24-15.
24-15.
Florida's bad. Florida's bad.
Now the reason why is because Louisville is really good at home, not so much on the road. Florida State doesn't really matter where they play. They play kind of, they're up and down. So it's like you can't really say. I'm gonna go with the team that's got the most talent, and I ain't gonna say the better true man, but the team that's got the most talent. So I'm gonna do that. So all right, Big Ten, you got Michigan and Iowa. Is anybody not going with Michigan?
Give me the Hawkeyes.
Are you taking the points, or you just taking them to win outright?
Oh no, I'm taking. Oh, in the pick 'em, I'm 100%. Give me. No, I'm not dumb. I need that. We got bread on the line. I need to win that shit. But I will be rooting for the Hawkeyes with all my might. I'll be honest. The spread.
What's the spread? Oh,
Huh?
I don't know what the spread is right now, but
it's probably going to open at like 24.5.
I was about to say it's going to open at least 17 to 18 or more. Easy.
Ooh.
17 to 18 or more. I know Iowa's got a good defense, but I mean Michigan's been and Jim Harbaugh's back, and in those games statistically when he's coached, they score more and beat people worse than when he's not in the game. So that's what I say.
Even a broken clock strikes twice a day.
Hey, that's true. All right, Pac-12 is Oregon and Washington rematch. Jason, who you got?
Oregon.
Ooh, all right. Shout it.
Oregon.
That guy.
Bo Nix Heisman moment.
Oh, okay. Oh. Hey, listen, man.
I don't want to pick Washington for shit.
Listen, man. Listen, when me and Stat did our Pac-12 preview, I picked Washington to win the Pac-12. I'm gonna stick with him, dog. I'm gonna stick with him.
I'm hoping for Washington at this point because of that shit.
And I think Oregon has looked better. Definitely, I will say I feel like Washington has played better, opponents, but Oregon definitely has done what they're supposed to do, beating people to sleep. So I'm gonna stick with Washington. All right, Big 12, we got Texas and Oklahoma State. Stat guy.
Oklahoma State.
Ooh, saucy.
Without ain't no damn way Okie Light wins that game.
We gotta give you a piss test, man.
Somebody piss test him before he shows back up again. There ain't no damn way Okie Light wins that one.
Man, I'm mad.
As much as, hey, and listen, it's hard for me to. I mean, you gotta.
It's both your rivals. It's both your rivals.
You almost root for a natural disaster there, but
a tie.
But it's
a tie. Nobody wins.
Yeah, nobody wins and screws it all up. Look, if I was gonna root for anybody, nope, I can't say it. But I do not want Texas going to the CFP. But I'm still not picking it. There's no way Texas loses that game.
Shawty, I'm pretty sure you're the same way, right? I got Texas in that one too, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. And then for the matchup of the weekend, let me tell you, outside of I think it's Oregon and Washington, and then it's Bama and Georgia. People waiting to see what's gonna happen. So Jason, who you got in that one, man?
UGA. Go Dogs.
Stat guy.
Sick 'em. And big. I think
I knew he was gonna say
double digits.
Double digits. Okay, I like that. All right, Shawty, who you got?
Hey, man, I can't say nothing but Georgia, even if I didn't want to.
You know what I'm saying? Of course. I got the Dogs, man. I got the Dogs by at least 10. I do have the Dogs by at least 10.
I said 11.
I think they're the better team. I think they're the better team all the way around.
I think so. I think Bama's gonna put up a really good fight. They got a really good defense. Kool-Aid McKinstry, man, and Caleb Downs, man. He's gonna definitely be a freshman All-American at safety, man. That dude played good today. And then I just feel like on the outside they got Jermaine Burton, Isaiah Bunn, but I don't feel like I think the quarterback will get some runs on us, but I don't think at the end of the day, I feel like we'll be ready for him and we walk away with.
I think it's gonna be high scoring.
Yeah, well, I can see like a 38-28 type game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even, I could be like 41-30, something like that. At the end of the day, whether we were in 3-2 or we went 41-40 or whatever, just get us in these playoffs.
There's just too much athleticism out there, and both teams has holes on defense. So I can see both offenses, scoring a lot of points. True that. Outscore.
All right, man. We appreciate everybody for getting in here. Jason, go ahead and tell them if they don't know where they can find you at, man.
Right here. Right in the back. No, you can always find us at Hall of Fame College Football with Jason and the coach. It's at CFB-pod on YouTube, Hall of Fame, HOFmedia.us on the internet. And then, as you can see right there, at JW_HOF on X, Twitter, whatever.
There it is.
But I'm always here. I'm always here.
That's right. That's right. 30-day power outage in Gerald's world, and no. Steve B said he ain't rooting for nobody. He's rooting for a 30-day power outage in Jerry's world.
Now
Hey,
who
leave
knows?
the
Jerry
Cowboy
got too much
Stadium
money for
alone.
that.
I'm about to say, Steve B, you saying that with some Cowboy
pay his
fans
bill.
on here.
Got to
Stat
pay his
guy and
bill.
Shawty, both Cowboy fans.
Yeah, man.
No wonder.
Shawty, tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, man. You can find me on Wednesday night, 9:30. Just my damn opinion, man. We talk a little bit about everything: sports, news, music, gossip. Opinions are just like assholes. Everybody got one. I got one too.
Hey, y'all
Wednesday
be
night, just my damn opinion.
Wednesday nights, 9:30, man. Y'all make sure, of course, y'all know Shawty be with me on Respect the Hedges on Tuesday. But
That's right.
y'all tune in. I'm gonna try to talk Shawty into talking about Deion Sanders and his comments about players taking other visits when they committed.
I'm for all that.
Yeah. So Mars says Dogs 35-21. I appreciate that, Mars. We look forward to it. All right, stat guy, y'all know where y'all can find me. Y'all can find him here with me on the Fanatic. That's right.
Hey, but hey, man, real quick, my closing thoughts. Got to give shout out and got to give the flowers to Khalil Burns, the freshman DB from Clemson. All week long, all we heard about was Nate Wiggins, and he was the one that lined up across from Xavier Leggett all night long. He had the pick, he had the fumble recovery for a touchdown.
He balled.
He's at least going to be ACC freshman all freshman team, and he might be making some noise for freshman All-American. Balled out. But you can always find me here on the Fanatic. If Coach I's on, I'm probably not too far behind with some horrible takes and opinions. I agree.
That's right, man. We appreciate everybody for getting in here, man. Like I said, y'all make sure to check everybody out, man. Get over to Hall of Fame College Football. Y'all, if you are watching on Facebook, man, make sure y'all check them out on YouTube as well. And then check out Shawty at Just His Damn Opinion, man. I get in there every now and then. We have some. Hey, listen, man. If you can't do nothing, get in for the gossip at the end, dog. You have a gossip section. I learned a lot of gossip the other day.
Me too, man.
For my co-host stat guy, man, Jason at Hall of Fame College Football and Shawty, man, Just His Damn Opinion. I'm Coach I, the Fanatic, man. We out of here.
Peace.